Is it recording?
Recording in progress.
There we go. Okay, well, thank you, everyone, and welcome to our May 2nd, not 22nd, May 2nd, 2023 Board of County Commissioners 2 o'clock agenda meeting. Let the record reflect that all 5 commissioners are present. There was no written testimony that was received for today's agenda, and so then I will start with anyone who would like to come down during our open public forum to testify or speak to anything that is not on our agenda today. First call for anyone wishing to testify. I'm not seeing anyone in the audience. Second call for anyone wishing to testify. Not seeing anyone online either. Again, it's *9 or raise your hand. Third and final call for anyone wishing to testify at our open public forum. Seeing no one online or no one in the audience, I will close the open public forum. With that, then, we are striking item, make sure I got the number right, 4C and 4S today from today's agenda. So 4C and 4S. And we will be taking item number 4I separately. So I will first look to my fellow commissioner for item number 2 and 3.
Madam Chair, move to approve item number 2.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve item number 2 as on today's agenda to receive the Planning Commission recommendation and set May 9th, 2023 to consider the same. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes unanimously. That will take us to item number 3.
Madam Chair, I move to continue item number 3 until a week from today, May 9th.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to continue item number 3, which is to consider the planning recommendation to May 9th. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes unanimously. That takes us to item number 4L that we are going to, or 4I, sorry, that we are going to get a presentation from our Parks Department. I see our Parks Department Director, Doug Chase, has joined us. So thank you, Doug. We'll let you give a brief presentation on 4I. Okay,
You're
Doug,
on
you're
mute,
still
Doug.
muted.
You're on mute, Doug.
Okay, how's that?
Much better. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thought I had clicked that. So, good afternoon, board. Doug Chase, Spokane County Parks. With me is Jamie Kelly, the project manager for the Liberty Lake Regional Park project. And this is a fun component of a project that we've been working on this last year with a couple of grants. And I'm going to turn it over to Jamie to describe the dock component in more detail.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Commissioners. So yeah, we are working on phase 1 design of the Liberty Lake project. As Doug mentioned, it's a RCO grant funded project. We've got a combination of grant funds through 2 different categories. It's the ALEA and WWRP, which is a water access. And so getting to the tail end of the design process for the overall project, we thought that it would be a better idea to remove the dock from the bid package and go through a formal RFP process so that we could have, based on the scale of the dock and the expense of the dock, it gives us a little bit more of an opportunity to have some control over the kind of the final product. And so went through this RFP process. We got a proposal from Knight Boat Docks. We met as a committee. vetted the proposal. They're a local company that produced a quality project. So basically a designer and a constructor of custom docks. And so the dock is approximately will be from the edge of the water about 200 feet from the edge of the water. There's a shallow area where the swimming area exists and has existed over time. And so there's been material that have been brought in, so it's really quite shallow. And so we've taken some depth measurements to get out to the drop-off point. There is a fishing pier at the end, which is important to get that drop-off point, and then also the swim area, which we get deep enough to not only wade but do some swimming. So another component was through the RCO grant was that non-motorized ADA access, and so there's a kayak and paddleboard launch that goes along with the dock, and ADA kickers for at the edges for ADA access. Swim ladders. We've going through the variance process for permitting with the county and Department of Ecology right now. And so we're just at the point where we can basically finalize our dimensions and layout, and then continue down the road with the permitting and the design and construction of the dock, and which we will we're going to, they'll be constructing between now and next spring. And then as the phase 1 project is wrapping up, then they'll bring the dock in and meet up with the boardwalk on the beach. And then we should be good to go. So by June 1 of next year, we'll have a new dock out at Liberty Lake.
Very good, thank you. So by June 1st of next year is when you anticipate this?
Correct.
Very
Yeah, and that
good.
was one of the strategies in pulling it out is due to the long lead time. We're able to get this in motion and moving forward while we continue to finalize the rest of the bid documents that will go out later this year for the main park.
Very good. Are there any other questions? Commissioner French?
So when do you anticipate that you will be far enough along with the design to where you can produce a rendering or some kind of pictorial representation of what the citizens can expect to see out there?
We are, so we had to slightly modify the layout based on existing conditions. I've got, Knight is kind of preliminary working on the revised layout in anticipation of getting under contract. So I could have that this week, probably, if all goes well with the wording of the contract.
So anticipating that this is probably going to pass today, this is a community asset that I think would probably be newsworthy, and was wondering if we could generate a press release with a pretty picture displaying what is coming to Liberty Lake as part of the release of the project. Thank you.
You bet. You bet. Yeah, and we've had a rendering that we have been working with, and again, sounds like we'll have a fine-tuned, more final layout here within the next week, so we can work on doing that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Commissioner Jordan?
Can you guys just clarify the source of the funds? I think you said grant funded. Is that what I heard?
Correct. It's a RCO grant funds, and so it's a combination of two different grant categories. It's ALEA and WWRP, and so I think the WWRP one was local parks, I believe, and then ALEA is a water access grant, and so it's off the top of my head, I think it's 1.9 million in grant funds. We were just awarded. They only partially funded the project to begin with, and just in the last couple of months, they came back and they had some projects that did not go forward, and so they awarded us an additional $400 and some thousand, I think, for a total of $950 for the WWRP, And then it takes us to 1.9, I believe, for total.
And we have county matching funds of just under $1 million at $993,825, according to my documents here as well. So we have a combination of ALEA, WWRP, and county, I believe, REAP 2 matching funds to make up the project budget.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
And Doug, I think, maybe just quickly for our new commissioners, that this is part of a master plan that Liberty Lake has been under for several years. You guys have had
Yeah.
a master plan together. So if you just want to briefly speak to the master plan.
Yes, I believe the master plan, we went through it was really great, actually. It was a very thorough planning process, 2016 and 17. And finalized a multi-phased approach to updating our Liberty Lake Regional Park. It's over 3,000 acres. It's one of our oldest and largest parks that we have in the park system. And we're excited to be now in the implementation phase of the first phase one, if you will, of improvements. And as part of this project, I believe next year, there'll be some work done on Zephyr Road leading down to the park itself, but we're careful to time that after. We'd like to have the construction work, bulk of it done within the park before the road update comes in. So we're pretty excited to be working on that. The grant application went in back in 2020. And so it was funded. And so we're now to that point where we're, again, finalizing the design per the master plan and getting ready to commence with the first phase of construction, first of several that have been identified for improvement. So we're pretty excited to be getting close to a point where we'll start to see some real changes out there this year.
No, thank you. So I can say I'm very excited, and I've got citizens out in my district that are very excited to have that happen, as well as people from all over the county. So nice to see it start to come to fruition.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions for Doug? Okay, thank you, Jamie and Doug, for presenting to us today. Appreciate it. And then we will go ahead. I will look to my fellow commissioner.
Madam Chair, move to approve item 4 and all sub-items with the exception of 4C and 4S. And then approve item number 5, including all sub-items.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and second for item number 4 and 5, including all sub-items except 4C and 4S. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes unanimously. That will then take us to our by-leave item that we have today. That is item number 6, that is to authorize a letter to the governor and state legislators regarding the Blake decision, which is Senate Bill 5536. So with that, I believe it's attached is the letter that, are there any questions for anyone? Okay. I do need to, I guess I need to, yes, let's make the motion first.
Madam Chair, move to approve by leave item number 6, a resolution to authorize a letter to the governor and state legislators regarding the Blake decision regarding Senate Bill 5536.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. This is, since it is a by leave item, we do need to open up for public comment. So I will open up for public comment on the by leave item number 6. Anyone in-house? I've not seen anyone come up. Not seen anyone online. Second call for anyone wishing to testify on item number 6 on today's agenda. I should say by leave item number 6. Not seeing anyone. Third and final call for anyone wishing to testify on by leave item number 6 today. Seeing no one online or no one in the audience, I will close the open public testimony. Oh, and then Commissioner French?
Yeah, Madam Chair, thank you for the opportunity to comment on this. I just wanted to, there's been a lot of press going on with different legislative bodies trying to address the impact of the Blake decision, and more importantly, the failure of the legislature to adopt a ordinance that would address the Blake decision. And so I just wanted to put on the record that this board is fully engaged in the process of trying to address the issue. We would much prefer that the legislature does it so that it's a statewide solution as opposed to each jurisdiction adopting their own. But I just wanted to say for the benefit of the public that we are fully engaged in this conversation. We've gotten access to language for a variety of different potential ways to address it. And should the legislature not be reconvened or not come up with a solution, we're prepared to do something to protect our community. And so I just wanted to put that on the record before we take an action.
Commissioner Jordan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just wanted to echo that in my view, we cannot have a patchwork of local laws that differ. That would be confusing for the public, confusing for law enforcement. And so we have before us a letter that will reflect bipartisan support for the special session being called, action being taken by the legislature to address this issue. I think our letter recognizes the need for increased funding for treatment for folks who are dealing with addiction and some level of accountability as well. And the Senate Bill 5536 did pass in the Senate with significant bipartisan support. So I'm really hopeful that the governor will call a special session, bring the legislature together, and take action on this soon.
Commissioner Waldron?
I just wanted to thank my fellow commissioners for working so quickly and efficiently to get this letter out today. And thank you, Commissioner Jordan, for working on some talking points, and staff for jumping in very quickly. And yes, hoping we see that special session very soon. And yeah, we really want to make sure our communities have consistent rules. And I know our sheriff and prosecutor also signed on to this letter, and I appreciate their support as well.
Okay, thank you. And I will say too that, you know, echo what's already been said. I think it's very important, and as the community sees that we are going to move forward with an ordinance since a special session hasn't been called. This letter calls for the, you know, for us, you know, jointly are asking for that special session to happen because we don't want to do the patchwork system. But I think we also have to be ready in case that special session doesn't happen or doesn't, you know, there is no resolution in that special session. So we're all committed to do what's right for the community. So thank you all. With that, I will call for the question. Oh, okay. I will call for the question. All those in favor? I have a motion and a second, so all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Are there any other items to come before us?
Nothing for me, Commissioner.
Okay.
Nothing from legal, Madam Chair.
Okay, very good. With that then, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you next week.